I want everyone to understand this about government contracting and why it's not as hard as you may think. You see, the government has financial thresholds. Any contract that they value that would be $0 to $10,000, they consider that MPT, micro purchase threshold. And any contract that's valued in between $10,000 to $250,000, they consider SAT, simplified acquisition threshold. So let me break that down to you. Anything that's considered an MPT, $0 to $10,000, your contracting officer has the ability to sole source you that contract without you going through a competitive process, and they don't have to go to a superior to approve it. Another thing about an MPT is they hardly ever make it to a procurement board, because most of the time that contracting officer goes straight to that contractor and say, do you want this contract? Now let's talk about SAT, simplified acquisition threshold. Anything from $10,000 to $250,000, the contracting officer has to get at least 3 different competitive bids and then make a decision on what's the best value bid, and then they still can sole source the contract to each one of those they feel like meets the criteria. Now, anything over $250,000, that contracting officer has to get as many RFQs as possible. So they're gonna actually post it on procurement boards. They might actually email you asking for a request for quotation, but they might leave it open for a month to 2 months just to get in as many proposals as they possibly can. Majority of the contracts you're gonna win is gonna be MPT. The government asks, hey, Brian, can you pick up a load from A and take it to B? How much you gonna charge for that? Oh, that'll be $2,000, MPT. Hey, can you go over here and power wash the side of this building? How much you gonna charge for that? $5,000, MPT. Hey, we wanna purchase a whole bunch of toothpicks. How much you gonna charge for that? $3,000, MPT. That's never gonna make it to a procurement board. That's gonna get sole sourced to you. They're gonna email you that information. That's why it's very important for you to sign up with your local and state government, because once they have you registered as a business under a certain NAICS code, then if they know what you do, they're going to be emailing you these opportunities. So that's why when people ask me, hey, is there any contracts for this and that? Most of the time, those contracts wouldn't actually reach the board. They would go straight to you. Another thing is people out here telling people that on their first contract, they was able to get $1.5 million, $5 million contract on their first contract. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Working with the government does not work like that. If you got a brand new business and you sign up with the government, you just not going to get no $1.5 million contract off the rip with the government, unless you're subcontracting with a bigger company that got you down as a subcontractor. But to be real, the government is very picky. Anything over $250,000, the government is very picky on who they give that contract to. And you have to actually show some experience in order for the government to actually allocate you those contracts. But just want to get that to y'all. It's not as hard as y'all think. Those smaller contracts are there all day, every day. You just need to be signed up and be ready and be put in position of where you're able to accept it. All right, peace.